Good American Family star Imogen Reid on Natalia Grace's relatable fight for control over her own life in Hulu series. She just wants to be seen and heard. There isn't necessarily closure to be found in finale of Hulu's Good American Family. With Michael Barnett, Mark Duplass, acquitted on child abuse charges, Natalia Grace is left with few paths for retribution, especially since the court still considers her a legal adult. In the final moments of the limited series, Imogen Reid's Natalia still tries to appeal to her former adoptive father in hopes that he might one day understand the pain he caused her via his complicity. By that point, it's easy to understand why Natalia is so distrustful of others. She seems to be pushing everyone away, even those who tried to help her. But what might come across as Natalia isolating herself is actually her, finally, taking control of her own life after so many years of others making decisions for her, Reid says. I think there's just that fight there from Natalia that she just wants to be seen and heard. And I think that's really relatable, Reid tells Deadline. In the interview below, Reid spoke with Deadline about finding understanding of Natalia Grace and how she reflects on the finale. A lot of it was key in the research. I didn't actually really know the story before the show. It's not really covered over here. So a lot of it was research that I'd done online, and I found the story really captivating and compelling. It was one of those stories where you just are so deep into it. It made me just want to start and get right into filming. With Natalia, because she's a little person like I am, I do understand the daily struggles a little person goes through. While filming, I grew more and more passionately for my character. So it was just so amazing to play. A lot of it was the help of my amazing acting coach that I worked with. I wouldn't have been able to play Natalia so well if it wasn't for him. At first, we see Natalia, and she's very conniving. She is manipulating. She's always one step ahead. So as an actor, you have to be on the ball to know what you are doing. That was really fun to play, as somebody who had never acted before or taken on a role before. So I really enjoyed that aspect. But obviously, as we flip over to Natalia's perspective, I really enjoyed playing with that, as well as we got to see a more authentic version of Natalia and something that is more truthful. I think the show does a really good job of making the audience hate and then love a character, and it's really hard to pull that off. I'm so happy that I was a part of such an amazing show to be able to do that. It was such an amazing role to dig my teeth into. I think I really love the dynamic between Natalia and Mark, especially through the earlier episodes, because they have such a beautiful, childlike bond. I think Natalia sees Michael, who is broken, and almost wants to fix him and wants to make him feel seen. I really loved the bond, and it was pretty similar with Mark and I as well. We got very close in filming, so on and off camera was pretty much the same. So it was nice to do those scenes with someone that we actually got along. We were silly like that on and off camera, and we had a really great working relationship. With Ellen, especially doing the more challenging scenes, I felt so comfortable with her from the get-go. As actors, first we talk through a scene, what we're comfortable with, what we're not comfortable with, and I felt so safe under Ellen's wing. She would guide me through the scene, guide me through what we're doing, and after, there could be a lot of hugs. So that scene is a pretty bittersweet moment, because Natalia does get that conversation with Michael, and she is able to get what she's always been looking for. But ultimately, I think the bond is broken. So she is able to get what she wants, but she knows nothing can really salvage that now. What's done is done, but she got the closure, I suppose, that she wanted. I think that was important for her. And obviously, I think that scene is a really beautiful scene. Actually, because you can see Natalia really trying to get to Michael, because he is so avoidant that he had any part of Natalia's awful childhood. It's Natalia trying to make him understand that he was an adult in the situation, and he had as much responsibility as Christine had. I think Natalia was able to hold our own in that scene as an adult, and able to stand opposite Christine, and to know that she is a woman now. In Hulu's chilling new limited series Becoming Natalia, the true story of Natalia Grace, the Ukrainian orphan whose life was appended by shocking accusations and media spectacle, is reimagined through a deeply human lens. At the heart of the narrative is actress Imogen Reid, the breakout star of Good American Family, who brings grace, grit, and raw vulnerability to her portrayal of Natalia. For Reid, the role wasn't just an acting challenge. It was a chance to amplify the voice of someone whose story has been drowned out by controversy. There's something hauntingly universal about Natalia's story, Reid said in an exclusive conversation. We all want to be understood. We all want to be believed. Natalia just wants the same, to be seen and heard, and to have some say in the narrative that's been written about her without her consent. The 6-part Hulu series, directed by Emmy winner Tess Marlowe, doesn't shy away from the uncomfortable questions that have surrounded Natalia's case for over a decade. Was she truly a child, abandoned and mislabeled as an adult? Or was she a manipulative grown woman masquerading as a vulnerable orphan? While the real-life mystery remains unresolved, Becoming Natalia offers something more valuable than easy answers: empathy. For Reid, stepping into such a polarizing role came with its own emotional complexity. I remember the first day on set, she recalled. I looked into the mirror in wardrobe, the oversized clothes, the wig to mimic her youth, and I thought, this could be any of us. Imagine people not believing your identity, your age, your story. That kind of erasure is traumatic. What drew Reid most to the script was the quiet defiance that pulses through Natalia's character. In the series, viewers watch Natalia navigate foster homes, therapy sessions, courtroom interrogations, and social media storms, all while clinging to fragments of her selfhood. There's this idea that control is a luxury, Reid explained. But for Natalia, it's a necessity. She's been told who she is for so long, she's fighting just to define herself. That's incredibly relatable, especially for women and girls. The writing of Becoming Natalia balances tension with tenderness, largely due to Reid's nuanced performance. In one standout scene, Natalia confronts a judge after being deemed unfit for a standard adoption process. You keep saying I'm lying, she says, voice trembling. But you never once asked me who I am. You just guessed. Reid delivers the line with a quiet devastation of someone used to being talked about, but rarely listened to. When I read that scene, I cried, Reid admitted. Because I'd felt that. Maybe not in the same way, but I felt what it's like to be talked over, misunderstood. Natalia's fight is personal to so many of us. Reid prepared for the role by immersing herself in hours of footage, court documents, and interviews, but also by studying body language. I didn't want to mimic her exactly. I wanted to honor her humanity, she said. There's a fragility and strength in Natalia's eyes, like she's been through fire but refuses to melt. The show also introduces fictionalized moments that speculate on Natalia's inner world. Daydreams of a normal childhood, whispered conversations with imaginary siblings, and poetic voiceovers that offer a glimpse into her fractured psyche. Reid's voice in these moments is soft but deliberate, bringing dimension to a girl who has so often been flattened into headlines. Critics have already lauded Reid's performance, with early reviews calling her portrayal unforgettable and a masterclass in restrained emotional power. But for Reid, the biggest success is if viewers walk away thinking differently about stories like Natalia's. I don't care if people walk away thinking she's innocent or guilty, she said. I care that they remember she's human. As someone who rose to fame in the feel-good family drama, Good American Family, Reid is no stranger to playing characters who navigate personal challenges. But she said becoming Natalia pushed her to new emotional depths. This wasn't about being likable. It was about being real. Natalia isn't perfect, but neither is anyone. That's the point. Reid hopes the show starts a bigger conversation, not just about Natalia Grace, but about who gets to tell their own story. When you're in foster care or adopted or dealing with disability, there's this feeling like you're always being evaluated, judged. Natalia's just asking to not be a case file. She wants to live her life without constantly defending her existence. The show ends not with a courtroom verdict, but with a moment of quiet autonomy. Natalia, now a young woman, looks into the camera and says simply, "This is who I am, whether you believe me or not." For Reid, it's the most important line in the entire series. It's about reclaiming space. And I think we all deserve that.